Hi, it's me once again, and this video is about what I got in the month of November, or at least what is arrived in November. Some of them I purchased prior to that, and basically there's quite a lot to cover today, and it's not just everything you see here. There's a lot that is off camera. There will be a few times that I might have to put down the camera to just move them here, because I am not really editing my video too much, since it's it's not commercial. It's more for casual talk and things like that. So let's just start with something that's a bit more of an accessory. Okay, so this is not one of it, because if you're thinking about it, this is just a figurine, from one of the video games and things like that. So it's not really what I got, but it's cute, right? In it, yeah. I think the flames looks good. Okay, but anyway, this is like sidetracked. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before. So this is one of the steampunk counters. This has arrived in November. It's much earlier, but it has been a very good counter for me for playing a few games like Hit Zack Roads and stuff like that. Okay, but the first thing that I have here is a bunch of 5 custom miniatures, which I selected from a few series, and these miniatures are not plastics, as you can feel it. There's no. I hope I don't break this. No, but you can hear the sound. Yep, they are made of metal. And why this happened was after going through a few of the plastics ones, I'm not sure what material, ABS or something like that. I shattered one whole box of that, and it's just like that, and it was just too disappointing. I mean, I can't possibly use those miniatures for board gaming, let alone, like, I can't even find a place to properly store it. And it's like, I'm thinking, fortunately I did not like painted all of them. I mean, or I'd really be very heartbroken if they're all like smashed to pieces. So I'm a bit hesitant to actually paint those 3D printed ones because of that reason. But look at this. These are all like made of metal, and I think the details are pretty good. Look at the apps, the armor, the darkened. It seems like it's kind of like a default sun drop, or kind of that kind of with the contrast already bringing out, and I think there's not too much you need to do about this. It's already pretty good as it is. I already using 2 of these metal ones in my D&D adventures in what's the name? Wrath of Esteron. It's the second one in the Ravenloft line, and it is pretty good. I wish I would have gotten some dwarves and elves, but okay, I'll do with what I have. So there's this generic warrior guy, sword and shield, and I got a female character as well, because she's generic enough for most of the other games. Okay, so with the metal miniatures out of the way, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Zombicide. I always thought that no, enough of Zombicide, not getting any more of this, but guess what? I just end up having 3 more boxes. Okay, so as you can realize that this is not really in English natively, but it's not really a big hinder in the gameplay, because all these miniatures are pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so I'll just go through with it what it is, and you will see what I mean. Okay, so this is actually the Murder of Crowz. Okay, if you can't, so there's a lot of crows here. So in this box, you basically get a whole box of a lot of crows. Look at this. So you get all the crows miniatures. Oh, okay. The way to put it is this way. You see, Murderous Crows. This is actually from Zombicide. I think the modern version, maybe version version 2. I'm not sure. But what they have is basically there's just miniatures, and you add these cards. So these cards are all like the red level, orange level, yellow level, and the blue level. And this is just 2 crows, 3 crows, 4 crows, 5 crows, and the back looks exactly the same in whatever language it is. so it's easy, just mix this card in and play with your, you know, English version or whatever. Doesn't really affect the game. But what I'm gonna try is I'm gonna try to play this with the medieval setting, because, you know, hey, I suspect that there are crows in the medieval also, right? Okay, so this is another one of my dry sticks, not so nice, a dry ring. It's made from diatomaceous earth, which is supposed to absorb moisture. So this doesn't come with the game, but it's easy fix. Just get a, you know, color printer. I in fact didn't even print this in the highest resolution. This is just the OKE standard print. So you get the updated chart with the where the crow lies with the rest. But of course, it's easy to mix this together, you know, with one of the other. Maybe I'll get to show you one of that next time when I bring out my Zombicide collection. And this is the Chinese instruction booklet, which is exactly the same thing you get, you know, with the English version. So, like I said, I patched it. It's not that hard. I basically, you know, got it in the playable mode in English, with a little bit of caveat. So why did I get the Chinese version? Because apparently Simon had a sale in China, at least the store in Taobao, and this I think cost me less than $10 for this whole box, with a box of like 15 crow miniatures. And in general, the language is not really a barrier to me. It's just that it's weird having to, you know, have halfway English and then halfway you have Chinese monsters coming up. Okay, but anyway, that's beside the point. So this looks pretty good. This is Hero Box 1, although I don't think there's a Hero Box 2 for the medieval Zombicide. And everything looks like it's English, okay? And I bought this because someone commented that this comes with both versions, English and Chinese. So I was like, oh yes, go for it. You know, because although it's like the Chinese version, but the English instruction is also included. I mean, like, what can go wrong with that, right? Okay, so first thing is that the abilities are in Chinese. So I think this one you need to have a little bit of a Chinese background in order to be able to play this, because you know, like the first one is like holding the nose, plus one action. I think that's the same with all characters and stuff like that. And you know, this says that you can place the dagger here. Okay, so basically no, this requires a little bit of a language ability, so unfortunately to say. And they said that the English version did come with it, which is technically not true, because if you take a look at this, yes, they are ABCs, you know, like the alphabets, but well, they are not English. So I guess whoever made a comment probably didn't understand that, or did not know that that's not English. And it's just jolly well that this is not, because at one point in time when I opened the box and I realized this comes with Chinese, and you know, I don't remember or recognize that flag. So, but that's not English. That is some other language, probably European or something along that line. Yeah, and so, but at least I get my 5 hero miniatures, which I could use. I could search out these cards and, like, you know, maybe print stickers to stick on this, or you know, just leave with it. But I get a choice to play with more heroes. And the best thing with this is it comes with 2 more colors and 2 additional player boards, and they are counters. So that, technically speaking, could brings you to maybe like 8 players into a Zombicide. You know, that's cool, right? Because you can now play 8 players in Zombicide, as if 6 is not you know, many enough, especially in solo. Okay, but this is worth mentioning. I guess I don't really care if this is English or not English, because I think you probably wouldn't mind. I mean, like, you look at this cool picture of a zombie minotaur here, you could imagine how awesome the content will be. Okay, I got to put this hammer down a bit and as I open the box. Okay, so this is the Zombie Bosses Abomination pack. Oh, by the way, I will have links to all the boxes in, to the official English website, so that you can have a reference if you want to know what I'm talking about and stuff like that. So I have taken out the miniatures, and I think I do not even need to take it out of this plastic. So it comes with 3 awesome boss. So this is like the zombie minotaur. Technically speaking, this is stretching it as a miniature. And then this is the other one. Okay, and this is the fatty glob of something. So basically, you will also get a bunch of cards, which unfortunately I should be like bagging them up properly. As you can see, I mentioned before, this doesn't really affect the game because you could still use the various levels. It just spawns that abomination rather than the normal ones. The back is the same, so use it with your normal games. It comes with bunch of the broken tokens, which I'm going to get the 3D miniature for this because I think the 3D one looks a lot better and it doesn't really cost me a bomb. I am ordering it if I haven't already did, and this is like the alternate language. So to patch this once again, get a printer if that's the only reason why you get a printer. So I printed the English PDF with which Common has been very, very kind to provide on their website. I know for people who have bought the, okay, I don't know if this is the real reason, but for people who have bought the game in other versions, they can always get the English versions of the PDF. And then look at the awesome art of the Minotaur. I would say that the miniatures actually looks pretty alike, but the artworks looks a lot better. Maybe because of the color and stuff like that. And basically, this box I need to organize them because they're in a mess. But as you know, I plan to integrate this with my normal Zombicide playthrough, so this probably won't be a permanent setup. So just to give you a retrospective of how big the miniature. So this is the standard size, hero, and this is the super big size of the zombie minotaur. I think this will really look awesome on the board, but there's to some degree I have some reservation playing crazy abominations, because Simon, it might be good at making a lot of expansion, but there's one problem with them is that it's the balance of the game is always not there, and you get overwhelmed. Either it's like becomes too easy, too difficult, and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to like place this down a little bit while I rumble a bit, and then put the thing back in the box. I'm going to move the Zombicide stuff away because I want to make space to talk to you about another mega game that I bought. Okay, so I think if you're kind of a veteran board gamers, this won't be a surprise, and you'll probably ask, why didn't I already have this game? Yeah, okay, so valid point. Okay, so this is Scythe. So basically it's one of the top 10 games on BGG, maybe even top 5 I would say. And I didn't have this game because it's it's a very heavy game. I mean literally as well as playing. And there's a whole bunch of expansion here. So what happened? Why did this started? Oh well, I have to thank Amazon for this. So Amazon apparently had this buy 2 get 1 free game, and seems like the base game of Scythe as well as this expansion, which is about, both of them is about 50 over USD, is one of the items, which means I could actually choose to get another free game by buying this too. And guess what? I ended up buying it. So this is the Rise of Fenris, which is actually the big box expansion for Scythe. As you can see, I haven't opened it yet. So a little bit of background about this game is that it's probably set in some Victorian or kind of a setting. As you can see, not full leather or the kind, is cloth. So a little bit of post-apocalypse, and people are farming you know, in their Victorian looking outfit, but they are mechs as well, defending your turrets and, you know, conquering and stuff like that. So that's basically what Scythe is about. It's created by Automa Factory, published by Stonemaier Games. Anyway, Stonemaier Games has been famous for, you know, super hyping games that once launched is like went price crazy, and you know, you will get it at a very, very expensive price when you just get it at the start. But over the time, the value will drop in price, but not the value of the game, because I think the games are pretty good. Like Wingspan, although I know, yeah, okay, I admit it, I don't have Wingspan. Okay, but anyway, so this games is for 1 to 5, and 1 is important because you can play it solo. As you can see, heavy game, about 115 minutes. Not why is not 120, I don't know. So it's a 14 plus. This is a very, very heavy box, which I am not going to try to leave it out with one hand, as you can see. So this is how the board look like. There's player boards of various sort, and I think this is a generic counter board, I think, because it doesn't look the same player board. Yeah, and it comes with a bunch of miniatures, which I think I have already seen these miniatures before, you know, like riding on the bull, a wolf companion, tiger companion, I guess, maybe, I don't know, or is it a lion? And then you know, Scythe, obviously, like, you know, then there are mechs, and yeah. So this is the super mega big box, which is the original base game. This is the one that I also got from Amazon, and that is how it started this, you know. Yeah, so I got this locally from somebody who is willing to let it go for a rather low price, but you know, because it's just a small deck of cards, I guess I couldn't be bothered to, like, you know, hunt it all over internet for it. So this is just one small expansion, you know, I think with some additional cards. Maybe it's just scenarios. So it's called the Scythe Encounter, and there's two big expansion, which I actually debated whether I should get it, but since they are in my Amazon cart, and you know, eventually Amazon know I'm, like, you know, monitoring this, finally dropped it to some price which I can say no to, and you know, it ended up in my collection. So we have Invaders from Afar. Okay, I guess they adds 2 new fractions. I don't know how many there are in the original ones, but I think there's a lot more for gameplay. I think pretty good and decent miniatures, with one with the, you know, this is like what you call it, a wild boar, and the other one, it looks like it's a wandering monkey on sticks, you know. Yep. And this other one is, I think, by many people's standard, is a must-have, because it introduced something called airship, which is pretty cool. Actually, I saw the miniatures on sale at one point in time, and I was very, very almost put into just buying the miniatures, even though I did not know which game that came from. So basically, you get a bunch of airship, as well as the cards and everything. But it's pretty heavy, so I guess you know, there's a lot more than just these miniatures here. You know, as you can see, there's an Automa rulebook, which is very important, because the Automa is what allows you to play a single player. There's 16 airship tiles and 7 miniatures, and you know, yep. So this is like the super big set that I got in November. Okay, but that's not, obviously not the biggest. I got to put the camera down a little bit while you stare at, you know, the Dark Soul miniatures, while I get something else onto the table. Okay, I'm back. I kind of like prepared them so that they're not too far away from the camera. But you know, I only have this much table space. Okay, yep, these are all the. So this is called, I don't really know how you pronounce it, but Cyclades or Cyclades. maybe Cyclades, I don't know. So it's a very old game, 2009 I think, for 2 to 5 players, 14 plus, same with Scythe. Pretty heavy game. It's very heavy physically, and the board is super big actually. You know, it's like there's this boards with all the, and then there's this side boards with trying to gain favor from all the. So this is it's a Greek. It's about Greek gods and the mystical age of you know, all the Greek mythologies. You have you know, centaurs, minotaurs, titans, and stuff like that. And I think there are some miniatures as well. You know, look at the miniatures here. And there's also pretty cool miniatures. But I think the important thing is that this game is pretty well rated. It's probably okay. It's not fair for me to say that it's a good game and it's fun to play, because I have not done so, not even on TTS. But according to what I've seen online, people are saying that if a game from 2009 has been, like, you know, still in publishing and, you know, still supported, there's still like new printing, as well as like a few of its expansion as well, although the expansion will be a totally different story, but you know, then it has to be a pretty good game. And I think I finally just got it, you know, just to ensure that I'm not missing it out on this. And practically this is free, because it's the buy 2 get 1 free, roughly about the same price. So this is about 50 plus USD, which kind of like, you know, is on a good promotion at the time I bought it. Okay, so this the rest. Okay, so to be dead frank honest, right, I managed to find you know, Come On in China, and you know, beside them buying that few Zombicide boxes, right, I realized that I could catch up on some of the missed Come On games, you know, like published by Come On, you know, maybe, you know, created by some other companies. And you know, how could I miss this one by Eric Lang? You know, Blood Rage is like, you know, the de facto standard for, you know, many of these area control battling kind of game. And you know, yeah, so so I finally, like, you know, get hold of this. And you know, guess what, they are really more than happy to get rid of this, you know, at my, you know, when I try and ask for them, hey man, yeah, I mean, do you have like the English version? Because like, oh, they say yes, they do. And you know, more than happy to like get rid of all of it, because they are not really like selling much of this English version, you know, in China. And this is where I come in. And no, this is really English, you know, not in some, you know, weird language. Fortunately, otherwise I probably won't be able to play it, you know. So Blood Rage, I think I don't really need to introduce too much of this. You know, you'll find like 101 videos out there talking about Blood Rage. And yep. And Zombicide, I had the Green Hot, and everybody else says Black Plague is the best version of the medieval version. So I thought, it says, I don't know, both the games is like the components are interchangeable, mostly of them, and they have a slight different mechanics, but set in the same you know, medieval time. So I thought in the end, if the English versions, you know, do happens to come around, you know, finally like this. Okay, so this is very heavy. I finally get my hand on it with tons of miniatures, 6 heroes, and you know, these are just the showcase of the type of mold of miniatures. There are plenty of them, trust me. If not, you know, 100, close to 100. See, it's 35 walkers, 14 fatties, 14 runner, 1 abomination, 1 necromancers. A lot. And you know, modular boards. This looks exactly like Green Hawk, you know, like this 4-piece of board here, double side. And the player boards, which just now you've seen, you know, put your character here, the weapons on both sides. You can like, you know, just stands all the rest of the equipments. There's some dice. So all this looks pretty familiar, you know, especially Green Hawk. And I finally got this because it just seems like, you know, it's something that I missed. And actually, for Black Plague, there's not a lot of exclusive to hunt down. There's only 1 additional box, which is the wolf one, which I don't know why I already own that, even though I have Green Hawk. Guess I was trying to integrate that with Green Hawk, and I have not done that. or even if that's possible, I'm not sure. You know, but there's always house rule, right? Okay, so let me move this one side, and this is the last big box which I have hunt down from Simon, and it's the Cthulhu Death May Die Unspeckable box. So what exactly is this? So, oh yeah, just before I forget, this game has always been on Amazon. It has always been over $100. I mean, not hundreds, it's you know, below 200, but it's about halfway through 100 or maybe close to 200. And that was why I didn't buy it. But when I finally got this from Simon China, Simon Shanghai in fact, I think, it cost me less than 100, and that seems like to be the right time to jump in on this. So Cthulhu Death May Die. This is the super price box that, you know, if you have Cthulhu Death May Die, and if you did not have the Kickstarter, you do not have this box. Plain and simple. And this box contains not just, you know, all the additional heroes you can see here. It also contains all the villains and the 2 bosses. And when you have 2 boxes, what it means is that there's actually 2 additional campaigns inside this box. Yep, can you see that? Yeah, so, oh, not just 2 campaigns, there's 3 lost episodes here, and you know, like, yeah, so I must say this is like a lot of gameplay, a lot of value in this box. This is all the stretch goal that you have for Cthulhu Death May Die, and guess what? Actually, I missed that. Maybe I'm not started board gaming on the Kickstarter yet, but it's really over by the time I tried to get it. And by the time I went into Time Machine, I just told myself, hey, what the heck is this? No, I'm not getting this. And you know, guess what? I live to bite myself on this. And here I am with this box now. Special order is not cheap. It's way over $100, but you know, guess what? I can no longer get this, and people are selling this at ridiculous price, maybe 300, 400, you just name it. I think I haven't seen the record of selling this for just this box, not even Cthulhu Death May Die, for about $500, and that's as good as the reason why I should just grab this, even though it's over $100. I'm not gonna try to move all this away from my table because there's a lot, but I have one more mega game that I'm going to show you that I got in November. So I'm going to just put this down as I let you admire my, you know, card holder, you know, cartoon style, you know, all the tacticals and the elder sign. Yep, while I get my game. Okay, so this will be the unbagging of this game. So it comes with 3 mega boxes. You know, it's a Kickstarter. It's a very old Kickstarter. It's way over. There's no way I should be able to pledge it. Not even late pledges. But I got this from someone who's kind enough who wants to get rid of it. Maybe he didn't have the space or time, but fortunately for me, I was there. And this is where, oh man, this is very heavy. Let me just, okay, so here it is. This is the big cover, you know, Deep Madness. As you can see, we have some very HP Lovecraftian kind of art. Deep Madness, you know, very dark. In fact, it's very, very dark. And then, you know, like, yeah. So Deep Madness is basically a game that is unfortunately they don't really show too much of the gameplay, but you can always check it out at the Kickstarter page. It's kind of a Lovecraftian type of horror with you know, and you get a lot of horrors, yes, you know. And then there's a lot of fantastic miniatures in this game, but unfortunately to say, I don't know why none of the boxes actually deplete any of the miniatures. So basically, what I got is almost all in for Deep Madness. We have the Endless Nightmare, which is actually expansion. We have the Uncounted Horrors, which is expansion, and the mega heavy Deep Madness main box. As you can see, for 1 to 6 players, 1 is important. It's designed by Roger Ho, cover art by Chang Yuan. I suspect could be Chinese, Taiwanese, people from China, or maybe even from Southeast Asia. But anyway, this is from the Dimension Games, and so a little bit of story. Oh yes, before I forget, the buyer also bought the seller who I bought this from also bought this additional add-ons, which is actually some plastic token packs, and it's nice of him to include everything in for me. And trust me, it's a price that is so crazy you probably wouldn't turn down on it. So a little bit of a story about Deep Madness. When Dawn to Madness, which actually is Deep Madness 2, came about, I was like, this is crazy. This is like $300-400. I'm not going to buy a board game for $300-400. Okay, so that was the days where before I was like cultivated by Kickstarters and stuff like that. But I say no, and because if you're not getting part 2, I'm not getting part 1, because that's just the FOMO thing, all or nothing. And guess what? I kind of like get to regret that, as I also gone more in with all the Kickstarter and things like that. And eventually I realized that $300-400 is like the norm for Kickstarter, and it depends on how much you love the game, how much you want to play a game. This game I think has a campaign mode, if I'm not wrong. It's a sci-fi horror with something like Nemesis. By the way, I'm also still hunting for Nemesis. Okay, but yeah. So when I finally kind of by all chance and smile of fate found that someone was selling this, at a reasonable price, which I couldn't turn down, that means I got this. And guess what? The Dawn of Madness Pledge Manager is still open. Wow, right? Yes. So I went in and take a look at it, and then under the advice of the seller also, that I'm actually entitled to some crossover packs, which can bring games, monsters from this into a second game, or second game to this. And these packs actually is free, even if you did not back it in the original Kickstarter. So if it's not included, by any chance, I could actually like talk to the designers or somebody, and I will get it added. But fortunately for me, I went to the pledge manager for late pledge, and it's actually automatically added, despite that I didn't back it at the original Kickstarter for this game, and I bought it from someone else, and I'm still entitled for the crossover packs, which is really very nice of them. This I give it an A+. I haven't got a chance to play this game yet, so it's totally not fair for me to say that it's a fantastic game or anything, but based on first impression, the artwork is fantastic, dark, Lovecraftian, everything you like about Cthulhu is here. I don't know if Cthulhu is inside, but maybe not. But it's to deal with madness, which actually is the overall theme in all the Lovecraftian games and stuff. So that's all I have for November, but I guess that's already way too much of games and miniatures and stuff. I'm pretty sure I missed out some things. Yep. Maybe I'll try to patch them in when I get my December talk about what I got. But until then, thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more of my games or things like that, you can subscribe. I don't actually make any money out of this. It's just a hobby. So feel free to like, subscribe, whatever you find convenient for you. So thank you again. I'll see you again next time. Okay, bye now.